Hello guys, and welcome to my first ever league race on Project Cars. This is the AOR GT3 Elite League on the PC platform. One of two new series of leagues on AOR. Obviously they are new because the game is new, and this is AOR's first venture onto the game with leagues. This is the GT3 league. I am driving the McLaren 12C GT3 car. One of 8 GT3 cars in the game, so that's the one I chose. Not necessarily because that's the one I like the most, because I only had time to test 2 of the cars actually before I made my choice. So I tested the roof and I tested the McLaren, and out of those I did a slightly faster lap time in the McLaren, so that's what I went for. As you can see, we're on our qualifying lap now, quite far into the session. I have not been able to set a good lap yet, and on this lap I've already missed the apex for turn 1 and turn 3, I believe, so it's not the greatest lap going on to the moment either, but I barely had time to practice for this race, so that's why you can expect not the greatest driving, at least to begin with, from me, as we now miss yet another apex slightly there as well. What a surprise. But yeah, this qualifying session is essentially working like a practice for me, because I just needed really to get up to speed with the car and the track, which, you know, a 15-minute qualifying session isn't really enough to do that, but at least it's a track that I'm familiar with from other games, so it's not all bad. But just to give some basic information about the league, as we are currently over 3/10 up on our previous lap, I'm driving this with all assists off, because all assists are banned in the league, so no traction control, no ABS and stuff like that. There are 22 drivers assigned to the league. We allocated a total of 24, but there were only 22 to fill the spots. But this is 1 out of 2 PC leagues, so these are the fastest 22 in this league out of the drivers that signed up for PC. Well, it's quite hard to judge who were the 22 fastest, because we only had time trial times to judge it from. But at least this first 6-round season is built up out of the top 22 qualifiers in the time trial event that we held. So I did improve my lap by about half a second, but only ended up P17 because other people also improved their laps in the end. 3.5 seconds off the pace, so quite far off. But bear in mind, of course, that the pole sitter is X-Ownage133, one of the fastest PC players I know, so no shame in losing out to him. And lots of fast people on this grid as well, but most of whom I have never raced against before, so this should be very interesting, as we are now on the rolling start for the race, and this is all controlled by the AI until the lights go out, and it's already a bit messy. As the lights are now green, and there's already been a crash just as the lights went out, and that was not their fault at all, really. It's just the game being broken with a rolling start when the AI is controlling the cars. But anyway, I'm not going to complain. I gained 2 positions from that. So up to P15, even before the first corner in this 1 hour kind of endurance race. I mean, I'm used to nearly 1 hour races from the F1 leagues, but 1 hour is pretty long, so no need to rush it on the first lap, as there are quite a few side-by-sides ahead of us, and I think there is a car up my inside as well. Yep, Poppleton there going up the inside, but there's another car running wide, so I'm going to lose the position, I'm going to gain another position, and now there is a car going slow as well. That is a Jeppa going slow there, so oh god, there's the car being forced, Poppleton being forced on the grass by AJ. Very hard, of course, to see cars when they're in your blind spots. I can only assume that's what happened with AJ there. Didn't realise Poppleton was coming alongside him, and that's very easy to do. You really gotta be aware in these cars, because you can see if there was now a car somehow on the grass there on my right hand side in my blind spot, I would have no idea that it was there unless I knew it from seeing that he kind of got closer and then kind of disappeared on my right hand side. So yeah, it's quite hard. You really got to be aware of your surroundings when you're driving in this view, at least with this car. In cockpit view, of course. And yeah, this is actually my first league. Well, actually, it's not my first league in cockpit cam, because obviously on iRacing in the Thrustmaster League I have to use cockpit cam, because that's the only you can use in iRacing. But this is my first league in like a non-open wheel car that I'm using a cockpit cam in. So it really is a quite new experience for me as well. But I have decided to do all my gaming on Project Cars with the cockpit cam, as there's a very fast car coming up behind me now. You can see the mirror at the top, as AJ as well. Oh god, been forced a little bit wide there, as a Jeppa also came on the inside. Yeah, I don't know, I might have been tap slided there, but I guess that was just a mistake from whoever did that, as I lost another position to MK just from being on the back foot from that little contact, and from being P12 for a bit, so I'm back down to P14 now. But I'm not gonna worry, it's a long race, only 1 out of 27 laps gone so far, and the lap time here is like almost 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So my plan really is just to take it easy, really, especially considering my lack of practice. I just want to take it easy, get more comfortable with the car, maybe build speed throughout the race, as there are no side-by-side ahead of me between AJ and MK. They're still side-by-side. Maybe I can pick up something here if they kind of slow each other down. Just try to keep a steady line and maybe look for an opportunity to slip by. Here we go, try to get nice on the power. Looks like we got a slightly better exit than AJ, and maybe we can have a move there, pulling slowly alongside on the inside. So this could be the move for P13. As you can see, there's another McLaren right behind me as well, trying to find a way past. But up the inside of AJ, hitting the apex, quite scared of that braking zone actually, because it is a heavy braking zone, and yeah, it's quite easy to mess it up. But we got that move done, so back up to P13 now, halfway through lap 2. And the move for P13 doesn't really sound that important, but in this league you score points all the way down to P16. So yeah, I'm not going to go through the whole point system, but there are points all the way down to 16th place. So lots to fight for even down here in the midfield in terms of championship positions and points. So yeah, just got to try and pick up as many positions as we can really throughout the race, and try to keep it clean and see where we end up. Not going to worry too much about this first race. I mean, it's all a bit of a tester season really, both for us as drivers and for AOR as a whole in terms of organising the leagues in this game as well. So now a car facing backwards there in the gravel or off the track. So we have gone up to P12. So that's not too bad. Trying to get close to MK as well now. See if we can have him move maybe on the main straight here, but no, he seems to get a great exit out of there. So 2 laps nearly now completed in this first ever league race in the GT3 Elite League, the secondary PC League, of course, being called the GT3 Pro League, and then for the Xbox and PlayStation platforms that have 3 divisions, you got the GT3 Semi-Pro League as well. Oh, there's another car in the gravel there. So up to P11. Once again, I couldn't quite see who that was off the track, but we're getting in a position, so that's all that matters really. As there's quite a bunch of cars ahead of me. There's 3 cars very close together, battling it out now for some positions. So I guess I'll just be sitting back and hoping for some kind of bands to happen between them, so that I can pick up some more positions through other people's mistake. They are certainly going side by side. Well, they were for a second. Oh god, I thought, oh god, there's someone who's gone off there. Is Jeppa, who passed me earlier. He has gone off the track, and there was actually a bunch of 4 cars ahead of me, which I only saw 3 of them before, but now there are 3 because Jeppa went off. But we have the McLaren of Arovina all over us now. He is, and I know he's a fast guy because he had one of the fastest time trial times, if I remember correctly, in the pre-season event thingy. Oh no! Oh jeez, I had to avoid that. There was certainly some cars going sideways there, and I then touched AJ a bit, trying to avoid Yera, who went slowly on the right-hand side. So I'm not really sure what happened between those guys in front of me, but I managed to avoid, kind of avoid them. But I lost out to Arvina that I mentioned, and but I've actually gained 2 positions through that. So there must have been another car going off as well, in addition to that blue car I passed. So up to P10 through that little incident. As we now almost had to. Oh Jesus, man! What is going on with this lap? So it was all calm with lap 2, and now it's all kicking off at lap 3. So basically, yeah, I braked a little bit too late. Had to go left to avoid hitting. Well, I was scared of hitting AJ, so I went left. And then Jeppa came from my inside, kind of forced me off the track a bit there. I'm not too pleased about that, but I guess that was it's an honest mistake. I'm not gonna be too mad. And as mentioned before, it's a long race, so we can get him back, I'm sure. So we got a car behind flashing his lights. I mean, that's not really appropriate, because flashing the lights, according to the rules, it's reserved for when you're a car trying to lap another car. And obviously I assume he has not gone around a whole lap more than me after 3 laps and coming around to lap me. But anyway, I guess I can mention a few more things as well. You got, of course, on this game, you got a fuel, a tank you got to be wary of. You can see in the bottom right hand side I have 46 and a bit liters of fuel left, and I started the race with 60 liters, which I calculated should take me pretty much to half of the race, and then I'll put another 60 liters in on the pit stop, because you actually have to do a pit stop there, because the tire wear is turned up quite a bit. It's on the ×7 setting, as Jeppa seems to be struggling ahead of me as well. So while I'm talking about this tire wear, I might actually have a chance to pass him, but he goes defensive into this corner here. And I also got to be wary of the bunch of cars behind me getting close as well. I got Smithy, the car behind me now. But yeah, I'm still staying in P11. But yeah, the tyre wear is turned up to the extent that they will fall off by the end of the race. Well, way before the end of the race, probably around halfway is what at least I'm thinking it will, on these soft tyres that I'm using for this particular race. And so yeah, everyone will be forced to do a pit stop in this race, just by the fact that their tyres will be falling off the cliff at some point. So an interesting strategy element in this, but obviously quite scared of the pit stops as well, because I know people have reported that the pit stop functions are a bit broken so far in this game. It's meant to be patched later on, but at this moment in time it is a bit broken, in the sense that it will not always remember your pre-saved pit strategy, as we now got a really fast car, Smithy, with extreme straight line speed there. I mean, there was just literally like he had DRS on the F1 games. I just could do nothing to defend from him there. Yeah, back down to P12, I guess. So there's still a bunch of cars ahead of me. You know, there's the cars I could potentially pass if I get to move on, if I get my pace up a bit. So I guess we'll try to hang on to Smithy now and see if he can drag us back to the other guys ahead. With the next car behind now, Son of Moore, 1.6 behind, and actually he just got passed by Pedro RC, looking by the HUD thingy in the bottom left. I really like that actually. You can see the car that is ahead of you and the car that is behind. Oh god, there's another incident. There's Arvina, I think that was Arvina in the fast McLaren that spun off there. I do believe so. Yeah, that's not ideal for him. But once again, I gained a position through other people's incidents, I guess, and up to P11 again. So like I mentioned, in the bottom left of the hood, you got this position thing which shows the exact gap at any given time to the car behind you and the car ahead of you. So I'm now just over 2 tenths behind the guy ahead. I mean, I guess you didn't need a timer to tell that, because he's literally just ahead of me. But and then you got 4 tenths to the car behind. Smithy getting very crossed up on the curb there, and that's given me an opportunity now to take the inside line into this corner here. Quite a tricky braking zone this, so we just got to try to hit the apex down to 2nd gear. Smithy's tried to hang on the outside, but he ran too wide on the curb. So up to P10, into top 10 now. I believe for the first time in this race. No, actually I was in 10th before at one point. So, but yeah, this is progress. You know, getting some positions back after losing him on the previous lap, and now getting a decent run on Jeppa here as well on the main straight to start lap 6. So getting some good slipstream. I don't really know exactly how strong the slipstream effect is in this game. And by the way, this is not me flashing the lights. There is someone behind me. But yeah, up the inside of Jeppa now into turn 1 on lap 6 to take the inside line and get that move done, as long as we don't make a mistake now on the next corner. But yeah, it looks like we're up to P9, so that is certainly the highest we've been so far in this race. So yeah, it's quite good considering we started from P17. I know other people have been having their incidents, of course, but I'm not going to be playing 8 positions up, so it's been a pretty good start considering. But looking on the minimap, there's a bit of a fizzy train going on, loads of cars in a train behind me now. So I could easily drop back down the field again a bit. But yeah, let's try to keep it clean out, keep it consistent. That's all I can really do. And yeah, just try to keep hold of the position. Come to think of it, I guess some of you might be slightly surprised that I'm not playing this game on the Xbox, because obviously from the F1 leagues you are used to me doing my AOR League Racing on the Xbox. But yeah, I do have this game on the Xbox as well, but on the Xbox One, of course. But I don't know, I feel like from playing the PC version as well, and having a good computer that can handle this on top graphics, I feel like the PC version is just a step ahead at the moment, and that was more tempting to do a league on. And especially as you can have bigger grids, obviously the Xbox and PlayStation platforms are locked to 16 maximum cars online, whereas on the PC you can have up to 32. I mean, I know we've set a limit on 24 for this league, but that's just because, you know, that seems like a reasonable amount of cars on the same track. But you can have up to 32 on this game on the PC, so it's quite impressive really, and something that kind of helped sway me towards doing this first season at least on the PC. So yeah, but it's only a 6-round season, so I don't know what I will do in season 2. But so far I've enjoyed these first 6 laps in this race. Starting lap 7 hours as side-by-side action ahead. AJ passing Emka by the looks of it. Emka then getting a little bit out of shape going through turn 1. And maybe that's another position I can try to get. Emka, one of 2 Czech Republic drivers in this race. This is a very international league actually. You only got like 7 Englishmen, which is a quite low rate compared to other AOR leagues I've been in. And then you got loads of people from various places around Europe, of course including me from Norway. So that's quite cool to see as well, people coming in from various places. Oh god, the car had just disappeared! Holy fucking crap! Yeah, I have no idea what just happened, but I'm dead. I literally had that car lagging ahead of me, and all of a sudden I am flipping up into the air, getting a broken windscreen, broken car. So I'm trying to drive it now, and it just has no power. So yeah, and now I'm pretty much in last place. So guys, that escalated quickly, and that is, I guess, one way to end your first ever league race on Project Cars. So skipping forward about 8 minutes, and I have finally made my way to the pit lane. It only took me 8 minutes, and everyone lapping me about 4 times, but I made it to the pit lane. So I can actually get my car repaired now and try to finish the race. I mean, just in the vague hope that enough people will DNF for me to maybe sneak into 16th place. But at the moment I am almost 6 minutes behind the next car, and I'm in P20. But by the end of the race I did move up to P18, because 2 cars at least did DNF. But P18 will not get me any points, unfortunately. So a really disappointing end to the race. I mean, to have that incident lap 7 just completely could do nothing about it at all, because it was just caused by the lag of that other driver. So clearly some issues there, but that's just what happens sometimes, and we just gotta deal with it really. And to be honest, I'm not too bothered about my finishing position really. It was just that it was such a boring race after that incident, because I was like 4 laps down and just lapping by myself after having really enjoyed the first 6 laps. So yeah, a bit of a downer. So P18 for my first GT3 league race. And then the winner of the race, Brownski, who actually beat Onage in the end on strategy, I believe. He did not take fuel. Well, he did something different with the fuel anyway. I think he started with a bigger tank. So he beat Onage, who got 2nd, and then another Dutch guy, Martin van der Bent, in 3rd. And a quick look at the standings, which will be basically the same as the race. You can see the points there, 50 points for a win, all the way down to 1 point for 16th place, and then me, unfortunately, in 18th, getting none. And the Manufacturers' Championship is actually quite interesting, because each manufacturer can actually have up to 6 drivers driving for them, but only the top 2 finishers in the race within each manufacturer will have their points count towards the Manufacturer Championships. So regardless of a manufacturer having 2 drivers or 6 drivers driving for them, they will have the same amount of drivers scoring points, which is pretty cool. McLaren starting off with a P4 after the first race, unfortunately without any points contributions from myself, but yeah, that's it for the first race really. All I can really say is thanks for watching, and let's hope for some better luck in the second race, which will be at Spa-Francorchamps circuit that I'm sure both myself and you guys know very well. So I really hope you join me for the ride for this 6-week GT3 season. Bit of a different type of league, of course, after I've usually only been doing open wheel leagues. Obviously the F1 leagues is what I've been doing the most, and these type of races, of course, are very different, but also very interesting in another way. So I'm excited, despite the outcome of this race. So yeah, I'll see you in Spa for round 2 very soon.